Hi, I'm Anthony from Sydney Backyard Veggies. Look, I'm over here at my cauliflower patch. I've just been doing a bit of a snooping around, and I've decided that they are ready to be harvested. The bed's got 20 plants in it, and at least the first two front ones are good to go. They were planted in February, so they've been in the ground for close to 2.5 months. They do grow well in the warmer weather, so it actually does pay to plant them out a bit earlier. I had planted them out in late summer, early autumn, and it just shows that the turnaround on the plants is a lot quicker than what you do if you start planting them now. So I'm just going to bring you in closer to show you what I look for when I harvest my cauliflowers. So yeah, I'm just looking for a few of the heads, and I'm just looking over here, and this, as you can see, this head's looking perfect. It's quite, the curds are still quite tight. It's very white still, and it's about the size of my hand, which is probably about as big as I'd want to grab it. I don't like it when the curds start separating here. So this could last probably another day or so before it starts separating, but it's looking ready to go. So there's this one, and there's a few other ones actually at the moment. There's a few smaller ones coming along. This one's still got about 3 or 4 days left still to grow. I'll come over here. I'm thinking this one as well looks ready. Yeah, see, as you can see, it's just starting to spread there, which is something that I try to keep my eye out on. But again, the palm test, look, yeah, it's a good size, so I'll probably end up harvesting two. I think actually this one's still a bit smaller, but I will need to start working through them. But yeah, I'm quite happy with my crop at the moment, so just going to do a bit of a harvest. So I'm just going to go through now and just try to cut this plant at the base. So I'm just going to push it forward. I've got my scissors. It's just, I don't like using a knife on it, but there you go. So there's my beautiful cauliflower. So I'm going to go and clear off the leaves off it now and see how it presents. So yep, just harvested that cauliflower, and it's looking amazing. I'm just going to go through now and just peel off all the external leaves. So I'm just going to do that right now. The key, nothing gets wasted in my garden. All these leaves will go to the chooks, but I'm actually just concerned that I might have had a few slugs get into the cauliflower head. But so far it's looking good. Yeah, there you go. There's the beautiful head. It's starting to yellow a bit, but that's not a problem, especially for home growers. But really happy with that. It's got a good size to it. Yeah, that's perfect for dinner, this one. Okay, so I've just finished the harvest, and I've gotten 2 nice heads out of my patch, and I'm really happy with how they've come out. They're really nice, white, firm curds. They've stayed tight. They're just a perfect harvest. So I've got 2 now. I've still got another 18 left to go, and I'm looking forward to eating through those for the next 2 weeks. Just as a variety, that's the variety I've planted. It's the all year round cauliflower. Look, it's been great. It germinated well, and it did well in my garden. It says 18 weeks, but I was able to harvest these in 12 to 14, not even 12 weeks. These were planted in early Feb, so we're here right now in early May, so 3 months, 3.5 months. So try to get some cauliflowers in your patch this autumn and winter. It's actually a really good thing to grow right now. I would get some new seedlings in the ground right now. This is my last planting. Is going to happen in the next 3 weeks, so it gives them the time to form their heads in the cooler weather. What you don't want them to do is form their heads in the start of spring, because they will bolt. But as long as you can get them in early enough, and now it's still quite early, they will do well in your garden. So I'm going to take these inside now and cook them up. Hi, so this afternoon I'm over at my cabbage patch. It's about time to start harvesting the first of the crop. They're doing really well. They've been growing great in the autumn weather that we've been having. So I'm going to go through now, have a look and see which ones are the best ones to choose, and I'll show you how I go about picking which ones I harvest. So here I am at my cabbage patch. These were planted early Feb. I probably have
25 heads of cabbage here. I've spent the last 2 months maintaining them and fertilizing them, and it's really paid off. I put a link to a video where I did a bit of that previously. So now I'm just going to go through and have a look, and as I'm just walking through, I'll show you what I'm looking for when I'm harvesting. Just come over here. I think this one here is one that I'll be looking at. So what I'm looking for is real firmness in the head. So there's no give here. It's looking quite clean. There are no cracked leaves, especially in the internal leaves. When the internal leaves start cracking, to me that's a sign of them starting to bolt. So I'll get on top of them straight away. But this one looks like it's good to go. And I might take you to another one that I ought to be looking at harvesting. If I come over here, this one here, as you can see, it's starting, the internal leaves are starting to rip. That means, to me, this is starting to bolt, or looking at starting to bolt. So this is done. And again, when I feel it, it's quite, their head's quite firm. It's got good size and shape to it. So this one's going to get harvested as well. So I'm going to go through now and pick a few and then take them inside for processing. So here I am with my cabbages. This is the first one I harvested. It looks absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do now is just going to go through, remove these outer leaves. These will be great for the chooks. I'm really, really happy with how my cabbages went this year. So, yeah, neighbourhood noises. It's hard to film when this happens. But there you go. There's my beautiful cabbage. I'll just take this last leaf off. And there you have it. Size of my head. Beautiful. So this is my first 3 cabbages that I've harvested now. They've actually come out really, really good. I'm really happy with how they've produced. I'm taking this one. This one's going to be for me. These other 2 are going to be for my parents. Still got another 20 to work through. Look, ideally I would have picked this probably a week later, but look, that's fine. That size is still good. Still nice and firm. So cabbages are really rewarding to grow. I actually really enjoy growing them. We're now in just the start of May. Right now we're at the start of May, so I'm looking at starting a second round of seedlings. In Sydney, it's still early enough to get a second crop in the ground, so I'll start seedlings this week, and in about 3 weeks' time, I'll try to plant another 2 or 3 rows of cabbages out. And hopefully, if the weather still stays a bit warm, I should have them off to a good start before the cold sets in and have them harvested before September. So I'll take this inside now. Okay, this afternoon, I've decided that I'm going to call it a day on my jalapenos. They had a really late flush of flowers in March, and now the crops formed up. But the issue is, at the moment, it's actually getting a bit cold for chilies or any other summer veg. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and harvest what I can from the plants, and then unfortunately for these plants, I'm going to have to pull them out, and then they'll go to the chooks as a green feed. I don't like overwintering plants. I prefer, especially chilies, I prefer to start from scratch. I find the quality is better, and I find that they produce a lot better. So from my context, I would free up this space and plant out more brassicas and other cool winter or cool season crops. But look, I mean, they're looking amazing. There's actually a fair bit of fruit. You know, the warm weather that we had in March really set the flowers, and then so the crop's really been
great. And that fact that I don't have any fruit flies to deal with this late in the season means that I'm able to harvest most of these. So I'm gonna go through, take off what I can and then pull out the rest. So yeah, so I'm gonna get onto that right now. So I've just finished harvesting the last of the jalapeno crop, and I'm thankful to say that I've gotten 2 large buckets full of jalapenos, as you can see just there. So it was worthwhile keeping these for a few more weeks to let that crop grow larger. And now I've got plenty of fruit to go and make more pickled jalapenos and jalapeno sauces and stuff like that. So that's really great. What I'm going to do tomorrow, probably not today, but I'm looking at digging this over and planting out. I've got some curly kale, but I've also got some leftover 1-box seedlings, Chinese cabbage, which I'm thinking about actually plant out in this spot and see how they go. It's a bit shady, this position, but it should be alright. It should be good enough for leafy greens like 1-box and curly kale. So I'm going to take these inside now, give them a wash, store them, and then probably on the weekend I will pickle the lot.